I know it's a 7 o'clock thing usually, but we're coming to you early because there's some developments we want to get your way. And I got Mike Morrison, and I've got really more importantly than Mike Morrison, Benjamin Morrison. Benjamin, welcome to the show. How are you? Good. I've seen you catch so many fish out that door there. I'm so proud of you because you are such an awesome fisherman, a great student, and they always behave at home, right? They never ever tear the place apart.
Best kids ever.
Can't believe it.
Even Pinky promised today that they were going to be good for mommy.
I love it. Mike, we've got a lot to cover here early today, and I am so stoked. You have a question for Mike Morrison? You'll be able to ask it. I know we're coming to you early. Let me just tell you straight up front that we're trying some different stuff, different times. You can see that I've done some videos on Vietnam, and we're just trying to see what works here. So you let us know. Hey, this is a crummy time. If this is a crummy time for you, let us know. If it's a good time, a better time than 7 p.m., let us know. I know we have several viewers on the East Coast, Mike, that say, God, that's a little late for me, 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
So we're kind of playing with this whole thing. So how are you? And what about this weather? It looks like summertime out there.
Oh, this is about as good as it gets. This is why we pay the high taxes in California, so we can enjoy this nice weather. Almost feels like summer.
God almighty.
Ocean's flat, calm.
Yeah.
Fish are biting. Got all the boats out that are running. So
excellent. I wonder if anybody has an update on anything. And, well, let's turn to you. Have you heard anything?
Yeah, this morning we were chatting with Damien on the Pursuit. He's chartered the Pursuit last night because the Amigo's not ready yet and the Freedom's not quite ready yet. They went 1 for 6 on the yellowtail.
No way. That's great.
Dropper loops, squid, live squid, and then a couple leadhead bites too.
Did they make squid?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, shoot, that is great. And they're at Clemente, right?
Oh, Clemente Island.
Yeah.
They're fishing with right next to the Pride, which he's on his second of his 2-day. And same story, they hooked they hooked like 5 or 6 and landed 1 or 2.
That's got to be good news, man, right?
News.
I mean,
it's good sign.
It's
definitely a good sign.
First few days of spring, and we're getting a bite already. I'm stoked about that. Yesterday or last night, I was fishing the surf, and there was no wind. The ocean was flat, and previous to that, we had a real windy day and a crummy day.
Oh God!
And I said, I bet they catch some yellows tomorrow, and thank God they came through for me. That is awesome. What is the Pursuit doing at San Clemente Island?
Damien was out of boat and approached Gus and John, and they were like, "Yeah, we'll do it." It's a Tuesday, nothing going on really much on a Tuesday, so. And that's Damien's home court over there, anyways. He started fishing on the Pursuit, so.
Excellent,
So it worked out. Got John off the couch from his knee surgery, and so got John and Gus and the all-star team on there with Pursuit.
So Woodrum had knee surgery?
Yeah.
You mean like that knee replacement
No,
everybody's doing?
It was a kind of a crushed disc and an ACL. So
what happened? What do you do?
Just being old.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Grouchy.
How old is he?
No, he's not old. Just
yeah, he is.
He's not that old. You're way older than him.
I'm way older than everybody.
Like dinosaurs were around.
Tomorrow is my
birthday.
Yeah.
Real birthday?
64 big ones.
So, yeah, you're definitely old. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Appreciate it. That's why I'm here, to get a hug from you and Benjamin, right? Woo. For sure. So what's the schedule down here at 22nd Street? Are you firing it up? Is it starting to build?
Everything's online, and the weather's right, and people are paying attention with all the technology now. So weather's bad, they stay away. Weather's good, they stay away, but then show up kind of a couple days later after something bites. But Pursuits every day, 6 to 6. Catalina, Native Suns, 7 to 5. Monte Carlo's still doing their 10 to 4, and then Twilight's Fridays and Saturdays. And that local fishing's really good. I was talking with Brian. Said yesterday's fishing, they're fishing in 60 feet of water on the hard bottoms right out here in front.
Really?
4 6-ounce torpedo sinkers.
And catching what, whitefish?
Clobbering the reds.
Really?
Red, sheephead, whitefish, everything was biting. It's kind of a cool area. I remember fishing with Walt a few years ago. Same thing. I remember we went out with Uncle Aaron on the Tradition, and we were catching all those whitefish and sheephead with Auntie Liz. Yeah, same thing. That shallow water fishing right outside the harbor, literally 30 minutes outside the harbor.
You gotta be kidding me.
Reds that big, whitefish that big, sheephead in the mixed bag there, some sculpin.
Didn't I catch one
You caught a bunch of sheephead that day.
You didn't catch one, you caught a whole bunch.
Yeah, you're fishing right next to Auntie Liz.
That's an exceptional thing, because local fishing can be tough sometimes.
It can. So right out the gate, we were just assuming that new depths were going to be, life changing for us, seeing bigger areas open up. Which knowing
Oh, right.
knowing that it wasn't. You know, we know boats that fish deep all year long, so they know that it just didn't change anything for us. We are up on that little shelf over here. You know, once you come up Point Furman, you got the abyss all the way up to 60 feet from the horseshoe in. Anywhere from 120 to 60 to 120 feet. You know, we get all that. It's migratory. You know, we get migratory rockfish, migratory bass, migratory everything. You know,
Yeah.
a lot of fish do live here, but during that El Nino, there wasn't much biting. That whitefish kind of disappeared and stuff like that. But this time of year, cold water stuff, that's easy fishing. 4 or 6 ounce torpedo sinker, size 2 hooks, and a little strip of squid. It's pretty gosh darn good.
Yeah, and
fishing.
I absolutely love fishing the Monte Carlo, comfortable boat. I cooked on it once.
Yes, you
you
did.
hooked me up to cook.
Sorry.
Sorry, I ran into that giant mako shark, which
Yeah,
was an
that was the perfect
extraordinary.
trick,
Yeah, it was so cool, and everybody on board, Brian and Steven and Walt and
Yeah.
everybody's just great.
It was Steve-O's birthday yesterday too.
I know,
It was
man.
like birthday twins almost.
Really?
How old is he? He's a kid, right?
24.
24, yeah. I saw that. I saw his mom post something about
Yeah.
that, so it was great. So we've got the local bite going really, really well right now. And obviously the island bite is taking up. When's the Freedom going to be ready? How's
Friday.
that going?
First trip's Friday
Oh,
night.
great.
Yep, they're back. They had to wrap up a couple things that Dean's our engineer. You know Dean.
Yeah.
Had to wrap up a few things, but they had a little exhaust thing and then wrap up their fire system. But the boat's ready to run. Just had to make sure it was completely ready to run.
Yeah, I saw Trevor down there. The boat looks beautiful.
Trevor's going to be running the boat a little bit this year.
Oh,
too.
that's right. He got his license.
He is Tino's relief.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's going to be Trevor's boat one day to run.
How
so
exciting,
I'm
huh?
so pumped for him.
Yeah, he's a
Super
good kid, man.
Very
There's
good.
that crew on there is really great.
It's young and they're with it. Like you got Gary, Rod, Andre, Blair, Trevor, a couple other kids, Dylan, Daniel, all those guys on there.
Yeah, well, we shot a video on there. You've seen it, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah.
But I mean, it just Dylan, I think, was on there, and he did a great job. And all the kids on there are super polite, and they know what they're doing. And I was like, when I watched Dylan gaff a fish, I mean, geez, headshot, eyeball shot,
Like he's been doing it his whole life.
pretty darn good. I got to admit, man, it was really, really good.
You're gonna be a deckhand one day. Or you're gonna go to school.
He can go to school and be a deckhand, can't he? You want that to happen?
Sure.
Any questions there?
Nothing yet.
Okay. Well, no, nobody's used to us being on the air here
They'll
at
watch
this
this
time.
later.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, other than that, everything's up. March, April schedule's up. And if this is a normal year, we're gonna have a little bit of wind in April, a little wind in May, some rain. Just pay attention to the weather. What's going on. You see good weather, go fishing.
Yeah, having said that, however, I remember back on the Amigo when we got down here and I told the boys, we're done. There is no way we're catching diddly on this trip. It's blowing 25.
Yeah.
And we ended up on Cortez. Jeff toughed it out and got us out there, and we had an extraordinary bite on the big yellows. Then we limped into San Clemente Island, spent the night in Northwest Harbor, perfectly calm, beautiful night, and then poked our nose out and got our butts kicked.
Oh yeah.
And caught limits of bluefin.
Oh yeah, no.
So
yeah.
you never know,
It's
man.
not always, but for all the average angler, you got good weather, you got to get on a boat. Once you got your sea legs, then just go fishing when the boat's running. So you know that. A lot of my worst trips I've had were my best trips. Whether dipping the scuppers out at Tanner, Cortez with Tino, catching
Absolutely.
limits of bluefin, limits of yellowfin, and a sea bass. So
Mike, really, I think the one of the important things that's happening this year is this availability of squid.
oh yeah,
We have that
Oh, yeah.
squid.
Oh, yeah.
And that squid is working all winter long as a magnet. Those
Mm-hmm.
game fish are feeding on it, and they're thinking to themselves, yeah, I kind of like this, man.
Yeah.
This
We
McDonald's is
haven't
open
had-
24/7. Yeah, go ahead.
Prior to all this El Nino stuff, there wasn't as much as the Friedman Adventures, Instagram, things like that. Cold water years, squid's life.
Right.
Being able to go out and make some, or bait boats out there, or something of that nature. But squid is that wasn't something we've done. All these people that learned how to fish this last 7 years of
Yeah.
this El Nino, being able to fly line a sardine or a mackerel that big. Squid fishing, you got to take your time with it, learn it. You're going to fish little lighter line, lighter lead heads, or you can fish 40-pound on a dropper loop too. But bring out your big hooks and your glow-in-the-dark sinkers.
Absolutely, and you make a good point. I like the warm water. I like the Dorado and the yellowfin tuna. I like all of that. but cold water is when the ocean's environment thrives. The kelp grows.
Yeah.
Everything.
And the
the
fish
bait.
are angry.
They seem to be, right?
These are the mean fish.
What do you mean by that?
Well, like today, the fish that we saw, they're fishing in the mud. You know, the yellows they caught, 15, 20 pounders, and they lost 10 of them. It's not, you know, they pull hard.
Nasty,
yeah,
huh?
they're pulling the hooks on these things, and it's, you know, it's not user error. It's just this an angry ass fish that didn't get caught during El Nino that survived it. Going, I'm not getting caught now either.
So you said dropper loop, right?
Dropper loop, and they're fishing 30-pound in the dark, and
They got bit in the dark?
yeah, right into the gray.
Oh, shoot, that's
Yeah,
great.
They had like 10 going, lost most of them.
And so what do they do after that? They focus on calico bass or rockfish or what?
That early in the morning, they'll probably, you know, pull the anchor and go drift around for some rockfish of some sort. And then if they get done, you know, that the boat's only taking 20-something people, you know, they get done on rockfish real fast. And then go fish shallow for sheephead, whitefish, and then get on some little reef somewhere, you know, down there and have some of the best bass fishing you see. Wintertime bass fishing is great. You know, they had also went out with anchovy too, so
Oh, great.
I'm sure they had a lot of catch and release anchovy. Careful, bud.
That's
Your
awesome.
fingers.
So the Freedom, is he full Friday night or does he have any room?
About 8 spots left.
Oh, cool.
Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah. And then he'll be online every day.
They're online every day, except when they get back Sunday, they got to prepare for a 3-day military trip, but they're back online the following weekend. So they'll be up, you know, all through April, and then there's a couple trips in May that are offline, but Freedom will be back at it again. Tino's back. Trevor's learned enough. He's going to do a good job on the boat.
Awesome.
Great job on the boat.
Yeah.
He knows
You're
the boat.
really sky high on Trevor, aren't you?
I'm just like to see the youngsters taking the reins. I mean, like little Steve-O, I told him I'm going to take him out and on the days and teach him how to run that thing too. I'm no, you know, Walt or any John Woodrum or anything like that, but I'm going to show him how to run the boat so he can start running that Monte Carlo.
Does he have his license?
He does.
He does, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he
That's
does.
great. What do you think about this new crop of guys? And let me start by asking, what do you think about them customer service-wise?
Customer service wise, I wouldn't put up with them.
Really?
Yeah, they're great. They're great kids.
They really are.
Yeah, they're well-rounded kids. Now you and me, I mean, I'm a lot younger than you, but
Yeah, rub it in.
the respect thing of kids nowadays is kind of sucks. But they're in their 20s. That's when they're 18. You know, that's when they're allowed to be out and about as an adult nowadays.
Right.
And you know, these kids are all grown up. They're not kids, but they're kids to you and me.
But they're very respectful. I mean, to me,
Oh yeah, no.
I mean,
that's what I
Gary
said.
Woodrum, he's just
Oh, they're all sweethearts.
such a gentleman.
Good kids. They know what they're doing. They're raised into this thing, and they know how to. You know, they know that everything they do, that's what brings the customers back. I mean, most of these people that fish on the Freedom the last couple of years, it's a young, fast-paced crew that's just happy-go-lucky, happy to tie your rigs, smile on their faces, and,
Exactly.
and good, bad, or indifferent. You know?
That was my
Yeah.
experience, and happy to have a good time, and like we just throttled Philip, my son. We just had so much fun with him, and I remember Dylan I was actually cutting up some of that footage for TikTok because now I'm doing TikTok, Friedman Adventures on TikTok, and God, there was some funny stuff. We were giving Philip, so he was on a fish, and I was screaming at him, "This is not Lake Irvine, pull on it!" And he says under his breath,
They're
but you
both
can
big
still hear
boys,
it. He said, "God, I hope this fish is big because I'll never hear the end of it." So it's good. What about over there on the Native Son? Aaron, what's he up to? Is he fishing Catalina? Is he fishing local rockfish?
That's the thing about the Native Son. He doesn't have a planned destination ever. You know, sometimes
wide open.
Sometimes he'll fish local, Catalina, Santa Monica Bay, Huntington Flats. You know, anywhere it needs to go. Santa Barbara Island, depending on what the fuel price is.
He'll go all the way to SBI?
Yeah,
That's amazing.
he'll do it. The weather's nice. I mean, this would have been a good opportunity to go that direction this week.
Oh, you scared me.
Could have got your finger.
What's he been doing recently? Fishing local rockfish, or has he not been out?
Yeah, no. When he's been out, because we had that weather, he's been spending a lot of time fishing some secret local locations, and giving you a lot of fishing time when he stays local, and then checking out the Palos Verdes kelp line up around Rocky Point and beyond. Fishing deeper, he has some old school spots that he's been fishing that's a little closer than most of the other boats in Santa Monica Bay. Pretty good fishing there. Lots of
I'll bet, man.
warthogs and Floridas and things like that we don't normally see.
Yeah, right.
Local fishing. As well, when he goes to Catalina Island, there's bonita in the mix, there's bass in the mix, there's perch in the mix. I thought those things were gone.
Yeah, I know.
Blue
There's
perch.
blue perch are back? Thank God Scott Bucher can catch something now.
God, he can finally catch something.
Yeah, I mean, anything more challenging than that is out for
Ah,
Scott.
he's a good fisherman.
No, he's not.
No, he's not.
Yeah.
Sorry, Scott. Yeah.
And so local fishing sounds good. The island, how about Catalina?
Local fishing sounds great right now.
Yeah, it really
Based
does.
off of what's transpired the last few days.
What, the weather?
No, they fished through the weather. They great reds fishing.
I'm ready to go. I love
Yeah.
that trip because it's not a whole day and, you're not overnight, which is cool. But,
Yeah,
at my
no.
age, if you can go out and get it done on a day
Good
trip.
quality fishing right now. It's not that little reds like that. They're all like 1 pound plus size models.
Shoot, that's great.
It's wonderful.
I mean, Fish Taco City, right?
Yep.
That's awesome.
Catalina Island.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, I've seen
Yeah.
a lot of bonita coming out of there, huh?
There's a local resident bonita that's.
Are they
coming out
dinky
right now.
or are they big?
No, they're all 5 to 7 pounders.
God, I saw that.
They're good
I
ones.
thought I saw somebody hold up 2 fish, and I'm thinking, okay, those were the 2 biggest fish. But
No,
a lot of them
they're
are like that,
yeah,
huh?
They're all that big.
That's great.
You slam them in their pursuits RSW and stays cold, fun to catch, good to eat. But Gus has circumnavigated that whole island. He's seen sign of life. He's got some areas he knows it's probably going to produce once the squids settle in there. You can come in here.
Yeah, come on in.
Just watch the cord.
Go around there, sweetheart.
Go around the cord. You can hang out, sit with your brother. Yeah, so Gus has some stuff mapped out. We the fish are generally always there, and they also refilled, after that El Nino. So those home guards, you're gonna start hearing that being said again, big
Yeah.
moss backs, things like that. Nobody really uses that terminology anymore, but you see some areas talking about that's gonna bite. Once the bait starts. Sit down. What? Oh. But yeah, there's some magic gonna happen. I was talking with both of them. Aaron likes to go target sea bass and yellows in April, whether it's local or Catalina Island. Same thing with the pursuit. You'll see some big hits, out of the blue, out of the ordinary. That's gonna happen.
Why do you feel that way? You're being so prophetic, and they feel that way.
They know that way. So if it bites, it's going to bite one of these days. I mean, they're driving through areas of green water marking fish that's not going to bite yet. It's just a pocket of current that
that's
just
great.
hasn't changed it. It's fish that they see. They don't just live there all the time, but, going through their history books, just going into the cold water. A lot of experience from John Woodrum teaching Gus and Aaron with his experience too. Saying that, they'll fish those shallows, but most of that Catalina Island is conditional related. So it's got to have a current, got to have clean water. It doesn't matter uphill or downhill, which means current's going one direction, up the island or down the island. That island's very, very tide dependent and clean water dependent.
I put my faith in anything those guys say because they're on the water all the time. They know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Somebody asks me, I say, ask one of those
It's not.
guys.
It's
They
not.
know.
Yeah, it's not just.
It's not a
luck.
guess.
Yeah, it's not luck. They're putting their time in there to retrace their steps to go over areas that look pretty promising, and then they're saying the kelp is growing back at Catalina Island, which just warm water makes it go away, cold water makes it grow.
Mike, when this whole thing started with the squid and the cold water and everything else, I had all my charters last year were in the fall.
Yeah.
Because this is the first year I've got a June trip and a July trip, and I think we're looking down the barrel of some really good sea
2
bass
days?
fishing.
2 days
2-day trips. The one is June 15th on board the Amigo.
Cool.
And so, what happens on June 15th? The
3
limit
sea-
goes to
yeah,
3.
3.
And so, fingers crossed this
That's
year.
really sick.
And then July 5th, the day after the 4th, we'll be on the Pride. And I'm so impressed with those guys. They fish hard.
Yeah,
Sean,
Sean is an animal.
he is, isn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I'm really, really high on those trips. They're almost sold out. Anybody wants to go, I'll put a number up for you later on, but those are looking good. And then, of course, I love fishing the fall here out of 22nd Street. Some people say, like,
Come here, Mom.
yeah, hey, we should introduce your baby to everybody, shouldn't we?
No. That's all family thing down here, but
Yes,
the fall is great.
June, July, that fishery that they had up north. Okay, that fishery that they
Bye,
had,
Benjamin.
See you later, buddy. Don't trip and knock the camera over, please. That fishery they had up north was really good, and being on a 2-day trip gives you some real estate. Little Captain Mark's gonna be probably running most of the trips on that Amigo.
Right.
Jeff's gonna run them too, so he.
Jeff is going to get back on there?
Well, he's gonna bounce back and forth,
Yeah.
run relief for Mark when he's available.
Yeah,
But,
yeah.
yeah, they're Amigos.
Those are sharks. You want to put your finger in their mouth? Why? They won't.
eat
hates you.
They're pretty well shot at this point, let me tell you. Speaking of the Amigo, I know a lot of people out there are like, what is going on with the Amigo and the improvements on there? I know you walk down there all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, these guys have been working all 24/7 for how many months? A couple months?
Since December.
Yeah, I mean, what's going on with the Amigo? What
It's
are
almost
the
back
improvements?
together. It's got 2 new engines, 2 new generators. All the electronics have been gutted and put back in. We have, I mean, you're not even going to recognize the boat internally when it gets back here. It's got brand new badass windows with tint on them now, which I really like. Aesthetically, it's going to be a 10. And internally, it's going to be, we can't rate it, brand new everything. So,
wow,
it's pretty cool.
Including the galley, right?
The galley's going, everything is brand new, basically. And then the only thing they're not doing this year is painting the deck. And that's going to happen next year because they're running out of time.
Yeah.
But yeah, the little Captain Mark's kicking ass down there. He's been here every day since the boat's been in.
I can see, man.
And
He's just beat. I can see.
Oh, he's fried.
Yeah.
Absolutely fried. You got Dinko and Eddie down there putting the benches and everything back together today. It'll probably take them, a few weeks. Dean's down there doing all the electrical, and Kiki and Billy are going to be all doing all the fuel and whatnot the next couple of days. So it's pretty cool.
Excellent. Question?
Hi, Jeff. How are you?
Jeff who?
Jig Slinger Jeff.
Oh, Jeff.
Yep.
He's usually working at this time. Jeff, it's great to have you. You got a question for Mike or anybody? I know he's a guy that I have in mind when I ask about the Amigo.
He asks all the right questions.
He's a great guy. Yeah, I love him. He's really, really good. In fact, I'm going. I know he was in the military. Mm-hmm. On Friday, I'll be in San Diego, and they're doing the Battle of the Branches, like the Navy versus the Army versus on 5 different boats. And the guy that's organizing it, Joe, is just doing a fabulous job. Fantastic. So I'm really proud to be doing that. And then, if you notice, I got a bunch of clothing and everything down in my truck. I'll be off to Mexico. I'm in San Diego on Friday and then off to Mexico Saturday, Sunday, Monday. We'll be doing some surf fishing down there and then also handing out a bunch of clothes. Thank you for... It's in the way. You got to accept this stuff. I know it can be a pain.
It's not.
But thank you for allowing us to do that.
Kylie, tell them about the greatest Barracuda day you've ever been on.
Yeah, just look at me and tell me.
Yeah.
What's the best? Have you ever caught a Barracuda? And what boat was it on?
The Monte Carlo.
And why was it so special? What happened? Did you catch a lot? How many?
135.
Are you kidding me? What was that like?
It was fun.
Was it? How many did you catch?
Probably 10.
10?
Yeah.
10? A limit of Barracuda? How old are you?
8.
Oh my God, I had to get really old before I caught a limit of Barracuda. You are special. How did you do that?
I would cast it. At first...
Was it a lure? You're fishing a jig?
Oh, yeah. But then I switched it over to whams, and it was easy. I just cast it out and just put it in gear, and they'd start winding, and they were bit.
Was that fun? Yeah. Do you like fishing?
Yeah.
And why do you like fishing so much? Because you get to hang out with your dad, or do you like fishing?
It's fun, and I get to hang out with my dad.
What's your favorite fish to catch?
Dorado.
You've caught Dorado too?
No.
Oh, you want to?
That's dream fish.
Beautiful, right? And they jump, so they're acrobatic. They're beautiful. They taste good. Did you know that Dorado is maybe the fastest growing fish in the sea? Did you know that? They actually can measure the length that it grows weekly. It grows so fast. Really fast.
How long do they live?
Like 4 years is a big giant Dorado.
Oh.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, they were telling Mark and Jeff are going down on that Apollo to go out for 10 days. And
that's a 10-day trip?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
They're gonna
out of Costa Rica, right?
Yeah. And they said that last time Big Mark was down there, it was like a nuisance item to catch a 40-pound Dorado.
Oh my God.
I'm like, give me that chance, please.
Wow.
Yeah. Let's go down there and catch them.
In fact, Mark Paisano Jr. was going to be on the show, but I said, you know what? Let's put you off until you get back from Costa Rica. And then we got the Independence to talk about and Costa Rica. A 10-day trip. My God, they can fish down into Panama, up into Nicaragua, wherever.
Yeah, it's an endless trip.
Yeah, in fact, Jeff Jessup, who's going on that also, was asking me, have you ever been there? And I go, dude, I lived there for a year. Are you kidding me? Yeah, I lived down near Golfito when I was like 19. That's where I got my Spanish finally. So, yeah,
See.
fantastic. What's up with the carb issue? Is there any good news on that?
There is great news on that.
I heard
Ken
that.
Frankie and everybody else involved. We're on a Zoom meeting, 2-3 weeks ago. It was we all made a little vote. The deal that they pitched to us was all the boats in operation need to be Tier 3 compliant, which are the boats currently. If everybody has a Tier 3
Right.
engine.
As opposed to the Tier 4, which was...
Yeah, so
Awesome.
Tier 3 puts us everybody up to par.
Good.
And there's boats. We're talking. It's not just right where we're sitting here. We're talking from one side to the other side of the border. So California border, everybody was going to be put out of business.
Yeah, right. And would that include like the Catalina Flyer boats?
Catalina Flyer,
Oh
the
my
whale
God.
watching boats, everybody was going to, and that's why it would have happened if people didn't know. People like you guys listening didn't say something.
Yeah.
So now they're going to go. So 2024, everybody has to be Tier 3 compliant, which is a less burning whatchamacallit. Paul Strasser live on the podcast.
Strasser, come on in here. Come on, we're live. Just say hello to everybody, will you?
This is the legendary Paul Strasser.
Right over
folks.
here, man. Look into the camera and say hi to everybody. Paul Strasser, everybody. You guys know Paul from...
Captain
Hello.
of the Independence.
Hey, can you give me an Independence update? Like, what's up? I know you're doing maintenance, but how was your year last year?
We had an incredible year.
You want to sit down for a second?
Sure.
Yeah, take a seat. Are you going to sit with me? Or?
Yeah.
Oh, you're
I'll
going to
sit
kneel.
right here.
That works.
Okay.
We had a great year last year. We had, not only did we have the good tuna and the wahoo, but we had good bluefin.
Yeah, I know, huh?
And the bluefin is still around.
Are they?
Yep.
Well,
They're
let's
still
get the update on that, man. Breaking news.
I'm leaving on a 16-day trip on Sunday.
Yeah?
We're going straight to Hurricane Bank. And then we'll see how it goes after that. We had really good fish on Hurricane Bank on our last 16-day trip.
Wow.
And a lot of fish, over 150. We had around, I don't know, a half a dozen cows, but a lot of that 140 to 160 pound fish. And then on the way home, we bypassed many schools of bluefin outside San Martin. So
God, really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, a lot of bluefin.
Any dope on the banks? Like at all? Bluefin?
Not that I know of right now. No.
Nobody's been.
What was the water temp when you saw those bluefin?
I
What were
didn't
they?
see him. Matt, who ran the boat, saw him. I believe it's probably mid-60s.
Yeah.
You know.
Okay.
We'll get a better update on this. We have a trip out of Point Loma. We have a boat leaving on a 3-day trip. One of the guys are leaving, so we'll get some good updates after this weekend.
Oh, great. Paul, how unusual is it to see bluefin at this time of the year? Is it?
Well, it's
not
unusual.
anymore. I guess, right?
See, you have to remember the commercial industry has a quota for Mexico of 2,500 tons. They already hit the quota,
So they're done.
They're done. Commercial industry is done. United States has a 500-ton quota, which basically that's just an incidental catch. They can't really target
Yeah.
only 500 ton of bluefin, because if they go over that threshold, it's a big fine with the federal government. So they won't. They just use
They
that.
don't even mess with that.
It's
Yeah.
a great thing though for
Yeah,
the
it's
whole
great.
fishery. Period.
And now the whole fishery. Now there's so much food in our area where in the past you used to catch all the fish, and we used to hopefully get another batch from Japan to come back. But this group is sticking around, and they're getting bigger.
What did
Are
I
they?
tell you? What did I tell you? What did I tell you last podcast?
They're three.
Phil?
Yeah, exactly.
What did I say? Over 3, 4?
No, yeah, well, I
said
wrote
close
that
up-
down
close
because
to
you have
4.
to. Yeah, you
gotta
think we'll
jump
get
in
on
the-
that?
Yeah, we'll get
He's
the
got to
force.
jump in the water in his underwear.
You remember,
You know.
they don't die of old age. I mean, of size, where a yellowfin does.
Yeah.
These things will get to be 1,000 pounds if we leave them alone,
Oh my
And you jump in
God.
the boat.
as long as there's enough food. Where the yellowfin, they have a different type of thermal regulation than these bluefin.
Yeah, they're rarely over 400. The yellowfin.
The yellowfin, yeah.
Yeah.
Rarely, yeah.
Paul, just for people that are listening right now, you're live, by the way, down here at 22nd Street Landing with Paul
boy.
Strasser. If you have a question, fire it in here. Hurricane Bank, you mentioned that, and somebody might be thinking, okay, Hurricane Bank, oh, maybe that's off Ensenada. How far is that? How long does it take you to get there, and what's it like out there?
It's a 4-day travel time, 960 miles. It's 500 miles from Cabo San Lucas on a course line to Hawaii. So you're way out in the middle of nowhere, and it comes up to 90 feet.
Oh my God.
And we fish the tuna off the edge. We anchor up in 60 to 75, 80 fathoms is where we anchor. So all the big tuna are off on the ledge. But at nighttime, if you want to get the flying fish, we pull the anchor and go in the shallows, and a lot of flying fish. And that's where we get our bait. But for the most part, we stay away from the shallows, other than when we're trolling for wahoo.
How's the
Control
yellowfish in there?
Yellowtail. There mainly you get these amberjack. You don't get yellowtail
Legit
down there.
amberjack.
It's too far south.
Big ones though, right?
Not really. You know, small ones. You get we just call them junk. A lot of junk.
Yeah.
You
Come
know.
and use them for bait for the big yellowfin.
No, what you do for the elephant, you get on schools of skipjack. And you catch a skipjack and you pin the live skipjack for the elephant.
Oh wow.
Sick.
Yeah.
The grade of yellowfin out there is usually pretty good, huh?
Good grade.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of that 80 to 180 pounders.
Beautiful.
You know, it's funny, on my phone, which I do have over there, I have a picture of an object that we caught. You caught a yellowfin tuna, and it had a plastic car toy inside of its belly.
What?
Jesus.
I'm not lying. I have a picture of it.
No
on my
wonder
phone.
the supply chain has been interrupted. The yellowfin tuna are eating kids'
Yes,
toys now,
that's
huh?
what it is.
I swear, it was a plastic toy. It had two tires on it, and it came out of the belly of a tuna.
That is too much.
These fish eat anything.
You send me that photo and I'll post it later. That's hilarious, man. So they're not discriminating feeders. You can throw anything at them, they're gonna bite it.
Well, another story. One time we're cutting up some 80 pounders for a chunk bait.
Yeah.
Okay, and on the fish cleaning board, we cut this one up, and Ronnie, my old deckhand, cut the belly open like we always do, just to see what they're eating. It had 9 corn of the cobs from
Oh my God.
from our lunchtime that we threw over the side as extra stuff. We just threw, lunch
Yeah.
and it had 9 corn of the cobs in its belly.
Some guy,
So I'm just telling you.
some guy, I think it was on the Independence maybe, Matt Schlurf, who's a cop and a friend of mine. I think he was on the Independence and he was dying to catch a wahoo and everybody was back in the stern hooked up on, and the galley cook goes, "Come here, dude." And he goes, "What?" And he goes, "Throw your bait right there out the window," because he was throwing carrots out the window and the wahoo were eating them.
Uh-huh.
Does that surprise you?
No, it doesn't. I mean, it doesn't surprise me at all. My friend took a tugboat to the Johnston Islands, outside. It's outside Hawaii. I don't know, 600 miles, and they were catching all their fish on human food like corn and ham and stuff. 'Cause
Really?
Fish don't know any better. Yeah.
Wow. You got to troll with something like that, a hot dog or something, and see what you can do.
I'm
Your
down.
back hurting you?
No, I'm
Do you,
just.
do you need to get out of here?
I got it. No, I'm just gonna keep riding. I
Oh,
guess.
yeah,
you know?
yeah. Are you riding around or
Yeah.
what?
Yeah, just my afternoon. We're going back down to San Diego tomorrow.
Is there any availability on the Independence? You guys are always booked. Nobody can get on that thing.
Well, there's not too much.
There's a little bit.
No, not really.
You're full.
Stand
Yeah.
by, I'll fill you.
God Almighty. From a business perspective, that's pretty
It's
darn
great.
good, huh?
We do have a few spots, I believe, on 11-day trip, near the end of this year, in November, I think. Mike's looking it up
Look at
right
it
now.
No, okay, so the Melton Tackle,
Yeah.
leaving June 11th as one spot.
Yeah.
Then you got the July 13th, the 8-day.
Oh,
two,
yeah.
Two
We got
spots.
2 spots. So, we got to, that's
Very,
3 spots open.
yeah, so far 3 spots out of a whole year.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Hey, Paul, let me suck you into the local bite. You're out making bait all the time. You've been doing this for many, many years. How does this year differ from previous years? What effect is all this squid going to have on the bite? If you had to look into your crystal ball, what would you say about the coming season?
I was out 2 weeks ago, but it's hard now. We're looking. Where are we at? We're in March. You can't really tell your season. I'll give a better prediction in May,
Okay.
beginning of May, because March and April, it can look good, and all of a sudden you get a storm come through, and a storm can come through and wipe out the water conditions.
Yeah.
But we are in a cooler water condition, which, in my beliefs, we've been having too warm a conditions.
Yeah. What do you mean by that? Why is that bad?
It's bad for some species.
Yes.
And good for others.
Right.
It's good for yellowfin. It's good for yellowtail. It's bad for barracuda. And it's bad for sand bass.
Yes.
So
and white sea bass, you could
yeah,
argue
white
maybe.
sea bass. Yeah, I mean, you start noticing some of our bigger counts of fish have been up north.
Yeah,
because
definitely.
the cooler water. But I have a feeling we are in a little bit cooler water this year, and so that's my only prediction. That the water, I think, is going to be cooler, and I think I hopefully see a little bit more of a barracuda bite for the local guys. It'd be nice to get a sand bass bite again, but
God,
we'll see
wouldn't
what
it?
happens on that. But we're hauling bait. We're catching sardines. We're seeing more anchovy than ever now.
That's cool water, right?
Which is a cool water specimen. That's why I'm saying I think we're in the cool water thing. We're seeing more anchovies, but we're also seeing sardines, which is good. That way our guys can still have that bigger bait to put on the hooks. I don't want to have a situation where all they have is anchovy. Having only sardines was better than having only anchovy, because only anchovy, then your yellowtail bait is going to be a little bit tougher, and your bluefin tuna and your yellowfin tuna, you're going to have to go out and make your own mackerel. Whereas if I have sardine and anchovy, then it's a much better situation.
Yeah, that sounds good. Go ahead, Mike.
Last few days that the boat's been out, that anchovies changed the rock fishing's life for pursuit in the native.
Oh, you mean it's been
That
improved
anchovy.
because
Oh,
of
yeah.
that?
The groupers, the reds, just it's at any depth, just gobbling that up.
They want that smaller bait.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
We're going out tonight at, I think, 1 or 2 o'clock, so we'll see what we catch.
What's up with you? You never stop working, do you? You love to work.
That's our microphone. Leave it alone.
Yeah, hey.
Yeah, well,
Don't touch our microphone.
I don't mind. Why does I keep them busy? You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I find I get into trouble if I'm not busy. I gotta
Yeah.
stay busy too.
I mean, I got my things. I write on a notepad in the morning everything I want to accomplish, and once I accomplish those things, then I go home, and then I get look around, and I jump on my bicycle like today, and I take a 10-mile bike ride down here.
Do you do that every day? You write that down? That's what helped me in China.
Oh no,
I
every
did
day
that.
I write down. I have to write down a list. I'm
Yeah.
getting too old. After 3 things, I forget.
And then you start checking them off?
Yeah, and I check them off. I only had 4 or 5 things today, but I got a lot of stuff done.
Excellent.
And then tomorrow we're going to San Diego and take care of a lot of stuff on the boat. We just got back in the water on Friday, so.
When are you leaving from San Diego?
Well, the boat's leaving Sunday.
Oh, okay.
16 days, I won't be on it. It's a great trip. Matt will be running the boat, Matt and Brian. But we just got back in the water on Friday.
Yeah.
So we're just putting everything together and finishing things up.
Excellent.
Yeah.
I'm going to be down there Friday for some Battle of the Branches. Have you heard of that thing?
No,
Yeah,
no.
it's like the Air Force is on one boat and the
Oh.
Navy's on another one, and I'm going to shoot some video on that. So let's ask him. Should we ask him about the A word?
Go ahead.
Yes.
What?
Go ahead.
Well, I don't want to. This is a family show, so
Okay,
I can't. No.
all right.
Albacore. Are albacore a thing of the past? Everybody thinks they're a thing of the past. I don't think so. I think it's been the oceanography. And you are so right about making a prediction now is crazy. That's what
Yeah.
I did last year. Because when you get to May, that's when that's the critical part.
Yeah.
That's when you can. So the water's cool. I say it's a very good possibility. But if we get to that fork in the road in May and we go warm, we're screwed.
Yeah. We'll find out in May, June, usually by July 4th, they always said. But
Yeah.
May when we had the good fishing, back in 05, 06?
Yeah.
They were biting in May. And
Yeah.
Our best albacore season, I think it was 90, shoot, man, we brought the Islander down to San Diego in the mid-90s.
Yeah.
97, maybe? Or 90s. Anyways, it was mid-90s. May was unbelievable fishing. That's when that fish moved in, and it was good fishing. I mean, limits every day.
Was it on Mexican waters or what was it?
Yeah.
Down the beach?
Yeah, down the beach, off the beach. Down and out. But it was good fishing. So I think we'll know a lot by May. May's the deal. I
But
think.
you're not saying this is impossible and
No.
there's all kind-
No.
This is
They're
what-
in the ocean. They live in the ocean. There's a lot of
Yeah.
fish. They were up to the north when we had our warmer water, the albacore out offside Oregon and Washington. And they always say there's a north and a south group. I mean, I think it can happen anytime.
Then you get these guys who say, why do you care about albacore? They say to me,
You'll be
why
right-
do you
you'll be
want
right one
albacore? You got these giant bluefin tuna. What do you want albacore for? And maybe you can help me answer that because they are really a special
Well,
fish, aren't they?
it's a special to our Southern California area.
Yeah.
Everybody made their livelihood off albacore for decades.
Decades.
And it's just fun. And obviously,
Exactly.
they're catchable. Obviously, they're not as intelligent as a bluefin. They
That's
bite.
true because I asked an albacore once to add
Yeah,
two
that's
plus
right.
two and they couldn't
Yeah.
do it.
They bite. They're fun to catch, and it's a good fish. But having Dorado, yellowfin tuna around, and bluefin tuna, there's nothing wrong with that.
This
but the
300
albacore,
300
is
pound
fun.
tuna has broken many of my friends.
Yeah.
I have a lot of friends that they spent the last 2-3 years fishing these things as hard as they can. They have back problems now, tendinitis, tennis elbow, because
Yep.
they got their butts kicked by these things. So, yeah, that's why you don't see too many big bluefin caught up here because our customers, not everybody's geared up for it.
Oh yeah.
But when we want to go do big bluefin or bust, we'll tell you.
Yeah.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know, like
We gotta have the
yeah,
tackle.
right
Yeah.
gear,
You
right
know.
crew, right everything. Which we got most of that. But come out and rent a rod for me. I have the rod to rent, but do you have the back to pull? Like we don't.
Well, and you got to obviously use between the rail,
Yeah.
Spectra, 2 and 3-speed reels.
Yeah.
These new 3-speed reels are really kicking the heck out of the fish,
Technology is
man.
cool.
Technology really helped us out, and having the right tackles, everything. You catch those big ones on the kite, as we all know. We got a lot of guys out there now are pretty sharp.
Yeah.
You know,
No,
we've been doing this for 20 years, 30 years
Yeah.
doing what they're doing now up here.
Yeah.
But we've been doing it with that yellowfin tuna.
See that Dave Hansen rod?
No, but
it's- Did you see it though?
No,
It's-
I have not.
Look, you brought it up here that one day. I
Yeah.
don't think you showed it, but it
Yeah.
looked like a bow and arrow compound.
Yeah,
bow.
right.
No.
And it's got like a weird gimbal on it and some shocks on it.
Imagine
I pulled as hard as I could on the thing, and it was just
Yeah.
like me leaning back on it. Like it didn't have much. Like that's gonna save a lot of people's freaking
Yeah.
backs.
Oh, so you're endorsing that?
I think
Dave's
so. For
gonna
people,
be happy
for people
with
that
you.
claim they got a bad back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have to go?
Yeah, I'm going to go.
One more
keep
quick
riding.
question
Okay.
for you. I mean, not that your life has changed immensely or anything, but since you did the Desiree show,
Oh.
how has it changed you, or did it change you? Because I got to tell you, every single day I go on YouTube and there's a myriad of, it just keeps
Really?
coming.
I haven't-
and people,
Really?
it shakes them. It people, it really gets them. That
Well-
was one of the most emotional podcasts that.
Yeah.
That right?
Yeah.
That's incredible.
That was one heck of a thing there. And I don't do that. I don't go online and check stuff like that.
Yeah. That's my job.
Yeah, that's your job. It obviously was that was something else. We keep
You
in
were
contact.
shocked, man.
Oh, we're shocked. Desiree, I talked to her a couple weeks ago. I got to get her the coordinates of where we found her because she wants the coordinates. So that's one thing I forgot. I didn't write on my list. I got to do. But yeah, it was one hell of a closure.
Oh my God.
That's the way to say it because it was something that me and Mark always thought about. All our lives.
Yeah,
We're talking
you suppressed
over
it.
3.5
When it happened,
decades
yeah.
of something that we just, and we just figured it was just out there, and that was the end of it until that day.
Backstory that maybe you don't know is that Philip told John Woodrum what was going on. And Woodrum walked in, and you and I were sitting next to each other, and Desiree, Philip goes, she's here, and I go, keep her out of here until we're ready to go live, because I don't want you to have the chance to.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't want. And Woodrum walked up, and you were reading like some of the stuff that you brought.
Right.
And Woodrum goes, "Oh, so it's only Mark Paisano that doesn't know that it's her." And I looked at him and I go, "Get the out of here!" And I looked at you, and you were reading, and you didn't hear him.
No.
And I went, "Oh, thank God," because it would have blown the whole
so
thing.
hard to keep a secret.
I was
You were in on it, right?
100%.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I was, that was the last thing in my mind was we were going to meet Desiree Rodriguez.
Yeah.
Ever. It was the last thing. Even that's why it's done the hell out of us because that was the last thing in my mind that would ever happen in our life, and it
Yeah.
happened. And I wasn't expecting her to be here, and in my wildest dreams, and that's why it took us by.
Oh.
When every once in a while I have all that on my at home. And everyone when nobody's home, I want to get a good cry. I'll turn it on.
I know, right?
Yeah.
I do too. I have to agree. And when Pablo Pena, the guy that I fished with 10 years ago, called me and said, "I know her," I went, "You gotta freaking be kidding me."
Wow.
And I worked like as hard as I could to get her down here as fast as possible because I thought as every day goes on, there's a chance you guys are gonna figure it out, and I
Yeah.
didn't want that to happen.
Well, it didn't happen.
And the funny thing was when Philip went out there,
Right,
I didn't tell Desiree.
Oh.
I told Philip, "You go out there and tell her she's going to be a translator." And
Oh.
he goes, "Dad, what if she doesn't want to do it?" And I
no.
go, "Well, we're not going to force her."
But she knew she was going to meet us, though.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. She was dying to meet you guys.
Oh, wow.
But I didn't tell her she was going to be a fake translator until she got here.
Yeah.
Or I had my son do it.
She had one hell of a game face.
Yeah.
She came in
She
here.
did great.
No problems. Oh, my Lord.
Paul,
right.
thanks so much for
I don't
stopping
want to
by,
steal your
man.
show.
Thank you,
You
man.
are
Alright,
the
guys.
show.
You are the show.
I
You
am
did a
the
great
show.
job. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Oh, boy. Well, I'm going to keep rolling here. All
All
right.
right.
You guys take care, okay?
Take care.
All
Thanks,
right.
Paul.
See you, Paul.
Well, Mike, I got to tell you, what a great show. Paul Strasser stops by, and we get some long-range info. We get his knowledge and expertise. I got to love it,
This
man.
is like every day here at 22nd Street.
That's why I probably should be doing a daily
never
show.
know what you're going to run into.
I know. I hear you. Anything you want to say in closing? I think I could let I could let you go and talk to the folks just a little bit more, but I'm not going to do that. We'll end it together, and then I'll do a separate show on our charters. I'll put up a different video, maybe even this evening. But Mike, I was playing with the idea of coming down here and doing this, and my dream was that there's so many guys walking around here that we're going to get somebody, and here comes Paul Strasser, My higher power sent Strasser in here, and he's excellent. You're excellent. Having your kids on here was awesome too. And the only thing that screwed things up was him playing with our microphone. But what
I
can I
asked,
tell you?
I asked Jeff. He said the sound was still good. So.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
No, I can't believe the sound is good.
Stop hitting the mic, Paul.
Yeah, I saw you looking at it.
It's like, yeah, there it goes.
Anything else you want to tell everybody out there?
Just
I know.
check the website, 22ndstreet.com, and I can't tell you enough, just go fishing. I don't care if you fish out of here or anywhere else. Go fishing with him on the Malahini or Ventura, whatever he's plugging here. Get on a boat, go fishing. You need to go fishing. Bring your kids with you. You know, this is what we have. This is way better than, choking people. We
Yep.
get to go fishing and relieve all of our stress.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
not even about the fishing. It's the boat ride.
It's not.
No,
It's not.
camaraderie, everything that goes with it.
I'm walking down the beach all the time, surf fishing recently, because
Yeah.
I love that. And people walk up and go, you catching anything? And I'll go, no, I haven't caught anything today. And they go, oh, sorry. And I go, hey, it's not about,
My brain's been off since I started.
yeah, it's about that sunset that's
Yeah.
about to happen.
Yeah,
and,
just turn it off.
and it's also about, I think I'm going to get bit.
Oh, yeah,
I
the-
think I'm
the-
going to get
the
bit.
threat.
Every cast,
Yeah,
man.
you'll say
It's
that
like-
if someone threatens that trash can over there is full of trout, I'll try to probably catch one in there until I got to go home.
Exactly. And one more time, let's thank Ken Frankie and Wayne over there at CC.
CCA.
Yeah, CCA.
Oh yeah, let me
Everybody
end-
that made
end
the
on that.
carb
We
thing.
got good news. We've accepted a deal that
Yeah.
actually
Did
works
we-
out for everybody.
Oh, did Strasser walk in when
He
we were
did.
good? Okay, go
20
ahead.
Yeah, 2035 is when we're supposed to be Tier 4 compliant.
Whoa!
But
So
2027, they're going to reevaluate that.
Okay.
So if the technology still doesn't exist, they're going to just bump it back a little bit. So Tier 4 engines, Volvo came out with a Tier 4 engine that's smaller, but yet they don't have the mechanics to help us repair them or keep them running. So
Yeah.
that's the biggest thing, taking you guys out and keeping you safe.
And I was going to ask you that question, and you've answered. I was going to say, is this going to be a yearly thing that we have to go through this?
Well, at least till
Doesn't sound
2027
like it.
when they're going to bring it back up.
So that's 5 years.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, there'll be other things you guys got to worry about as people that live in California.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Newsom got his
What do you mean,
power-
you guys got? Where are you going?
You guys.
Oh,
I just live my life here. Not many people come into Pedro and mess with Pedro.
yeah, really, right?
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
Hey, well, one question for you. I've started doing this thing where wherever people go fishing, like 22nd Street or surf fishing, or I'm trying to find restaurants in the neighborhood that are good. What's your best Italian restaurant around here?
Oh, well.
Or if you want to mention 2 places, go ahead. 3 places. Just, I know Jeff wants to know that for his charters. People come down here, they want to
Yeah,
grab
I mean,
something to
you
eat.
always got the restaurant upstairs, which is good and expensive, but you're paying for the view more than anything. And Chef Roberto does a great job upstairs. You get
It's good food, right?
Fish, steak, and everything about it. Good, strong cocktails before your trip so you can go to bed.
Right.
As for food in San Pedro, we have really good food here across
Yeah,
the board. Anywhere
definitely.
from like Korean barbecue to pizza.
Do you have a
everything under
favorite
the sun.
place or anything? Like,
We go to
forget
we
Italian.
we go to Bonello's for pizza.
Yeah.
We go to
Mexican. How about Mexican?
we got Pronto's up on 25th and Western.
Is it good?
It's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got it for my wife's birthday over the weekend.
Oh,
Pictures
nice.
of it.
Nice.
Everybody, just Google food when you get down here, and everything delivers.
So,
But not any one single place stands out from the. There's no place that I wouldn't go to. Even these crappy bars around here serve good chicken wings.
oh man, that sounds good. I could go for a chicken wing right now. That
real.
sounds good. So Janelle and Tony are out front. I don't know if they're watching, but we should say hi to them. They keep us informed. Janelle, great job today with that update, right?
Yeah, good job, Danelle, with that update.
That was
Way
excellent.
to go. Way to bring in the heat.
Proud of you.
Ooh, way to pump this up.
Mike.
Oh, and follow 22nd Street Tony. He started his own Instagram
Yeah,
page.
yeah, he's awesome. Tony's the
Yeah.
best. He's a great guy. And Friedman Adventures on TikTok now, Instagram,
I started
Facebook.
TikTok
I
too.
know.
Stupid.
I have
It's
no-
international, though.
It's pretty good. I hate to say, I've been working with a girl that helps up your stuff on YouTube, and she goes, "You got to start doing TikTok." And I go, "I'm freaking social media 24/7.
Well,
I'm starting to
you
go
start
crazy."
on the TikTok platform and then share it out of it.
Yeah,
So
right.
that's what. So you do.
Oh, and share it to Instagram and
Yeah,
Facebook and
so
everything.
it
Is that
all
what you're
kinda
doing?
Overlaps and stuff. I just started it. I got like 50 followers,
Yeah, me too. That's what I got.
and it's all just robots, not real people.
Oh, really?
Chicks trying to sell themselves on the internet.
Yeah. Are you buying?
Hell yeah.
No, you're not. Your wife's right out there. She'll hit you over the head. My wife didn't speak English, so I'm safe. Question.
Jeff, they're opening up. Yeah, that's another update. Sorry. They're giving.
What's the question? For
They
everybody
say
out there.
Osborne. Is Osborne still open to fish? Osborne is open to fish pelagics, no bottom species whatsoever. So anything that swims away that isn't a rockfish.
So for everybody who wants to know where Osborne is on the backside of Santa Barbara Island, right?
Yes. And they're talking about opening up seamounts. Nothing in particular yet, nothing specific yet, but Santa Barbara Island, there's a big ring around Santa Barbara Island that's going to double the size.
Of the accessibility?
Yeah, so
oh,
you're going to
good.
be able to fish a lot more real estate. They're giving more. They stopped at San Nick. They talked about Clemente. They did mention the 14. Some of the seamounts are some of the stuff's just gonna stay closed.
Yeah, but
We're
maybe
never
the
gonna get
14 is
back.
going to open, which is Lawson
Possibly.
Seamount.
And
Yeah,
that'll benefit Newport.
yeah, heck yeah.
Yeah,
There's
so-
good fishing out there, man.
They bypass it because they can. I bet you there's yellows on it all the time.
I'll bet.
You know,
Yeah.
something, anything. We catch
Yeah.
a lot of tuna when we go over the top of that thing too.
Yeah, yeah.
When it's around. So there's stuff in the works that Ken Frankie and CCA and all those other guys have been working hard at, and you kick the bee's nest enough, they start to listen or sting you. So
Yeah.
those guys have been constantly kicking the bee's nest of all the government agencies and we're winning here. They're out there kicking ass. So
That's great
Yeah,
news.
everything went away and is going to start coming back, but there will just be things that are closed forever. We'll probably never get Rocky Point back.
Yeah, it's a
You know,
shame.
you know, some of that stuff in the Malibu, Ventura County, but they call it spillover or something like that. Too many fish, they just start migrating down the beach. But like
Let's hope that's
when we
true.
go and like fish, the biggest thing we've done going fish Rocky Point was like, see all the day boats anchored up catching sea bass.
Yeah, oh yeah.
You know, if they left that open, accessible for that, and then all the sheephead, whitefish, calico bass that get caught there, just throw them back.
Yeah.
Those are things that we're, throwing in their ear, like, because we drive over the top of Rocky all the time. We're fishing in the bay, and you can't stop and fish it. You fish the edges of it. The edges of it aren't any better. They didn't, there's no spillover. We're not seeing any great numbers of calico bass and yellowtail and things like that. You do see stuff at Catalina with maybe some spillover. I don't know. There's really no way to. They claim they have data on it, but they don't. So, but we're getting bigger areas that are closed. The cowcod conservation areas are going to give us back some.
Oh, good.
Cowcods are still off the catch list. You'll probably will never get those back. But
Yeah.
if it happens, it happens. I'm thinking incidental handful of them would probably be cool.
Yeah,
you know,
right.
but we're descending them all. They're not floating around.
Right,
And stuff
right.
Like that. So everybody's doing their job.
Do you know the answer to this question? If you're a private boater, are you required to have a descending device?
I think anyone with
Fishing.
fishing from a boat is required to have a descending device.
What if you're fishing surface fish?
See, then it's all gray, some of that stuff.
Yeah.
We're required to have them because we're, charter for hire.
Right.
I think any charter for hire vessel
But
has to
a
have
private-
it. But you're also not, nothing states that you, maybe now that I'm saying it, but nothing states that you have to descend anything, really.
Right.
We have to do our job. We have to try to, send back little rockfish, send back cowcod, send back just the fish. Over limits on stuff, you just send it back down instead of having them all.
So a descending device, for maybe there's somebody out there who's new. What is that, and why is it important?
They make a couple different models of it. Some of them back in the day, we just took a couple sinkers and a breakaway, tearaway, 12-pound or something like that. And
So the rockfish comes up and it's got the
Rockfish-
bends,
yeah, it's
basically,
got
right?
barotrauma.
Yeah.
Their bellies sticking out of their mouth, and it
I
looking.
thought that was something else, actually, but it's their belly.
Yeah,
I'm only kidding.
You just like poking it.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's the best thing to do. Back in the day, people would just
Pop that thing.
pop that thing, and that's not good.
Right.
It's like poking
Kind
yourself.
of fun, but
Yes,
But it's
but,
gotta have
but if you did that, chances are the fish is going to survive.
yeah.
So if you don't have a descending thing and you don't want to keep that rockfish, I don't recommend doing it, but chances are they have a better chance of survival than floating on the surface. But descending device, you hook it to like 50, 80-pound test. It's got the ones we use, they have these little pressurized clips. So they're like one of those crane game things. You clip it in their mouth and you hook it to a couple pound weight. And once it gets down 100 feet, it just releases and the fish, everything sucks back in and
Yeah,
they
I mean-
swim down. It's proven.
Oh.
They have tagged fish we catch over and over again that are just fine.
I've actually seen a camera. You look at these fish and they're not moving. Their eyes have bulged out of their heads.
And all of a sudden they're
Yeah,
good as
they're
can be.
flying off like unbelievable, right?
Yep.
I think, and I'm not positive, so folks don't take my word on this, but I think if a private boater if the Department of Fish and Wildlife were to come upon you and you had rockfish in your possession, then they can ask you, do you have a descending device?
I haven't seen
Not
that
sure
written
about
in
that.
stone. I do know they gave them the Ken Frankie and Sack gave us all to our boats to just show that we're actually doing that stuff, to make sure we're doing it. We have milk crates attached to the boat sometimes when we know we're releasing a lot of fish, so we're doing it.
Oh, you mean you're throwing them in the milk crate?
Well, no, they're the milk. They had tuna cord attached to a milk crate. So yeah, you put it in the milk crate, clip it, and then sink it down real fast.
Oh, with
Like-
all
like
the
a-
fish in
like
it.
a hand line.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, so there was a lot of different things that were going, but all the boats have descending devices. All the boats are actually doing it. It's not just saying it, and it's not.
Right.
I've been on trips all over the coast where that nobody wants salmon grouper, and you look back and there's 200 of them floating behind the boat.
Oh man,
and
it's such a shame, isn't
the
it?
birds have a great time.
Yeah, I know they
everything,
do.
it gets eaten. It's
Right.
not like nothing.
Sharks,
Yeah,
birds.
everything eats it. It's a circle of life, and that's why they would prefer you to release, the black sea bass as well as you possibly can.
Yeah.
Garibaldis, things like that, which you don't catch too much of. But descending, if you can find a descender, most tackle shops carry them. And you could probably just find one on the internet and do your service and sink out the salmon grouper you don't want, or you had too many reds or something like that, rather than just float them away.
I'm guessing that on the Monte Carlo right now, if they're fishing 60 feet of water, that's not even an issue, huh? I mean, those fish just swim right back down, don't
Yeah,
they? Most of them?
Yeah, if you're not winding them full speed,
Yeah.
but they don't have their bladder on top.
Yeah.
That's all over, 150, 200 feet when you start to see that.
All right, so we got yellowtail biting today. That's great news.
Great news.
Carb issue is all solved. Paul Strasser is going to Hurricane Bank.
Legendary.
The legendary Paul Strasser. It was interesting to hear his comments on the Desiree reunion also, because honestly, I mean,
They went their whole life after that, just like, they just shut it off, like, what happened, and then all of a sudden, hello, she's good. You guys did something great.
yeah. Plus, when you see what kind of a person she is,
Yeah, she's rad.
yeah,
She was at the Christmas party. She was cool.
she's, making the world a better place.
Hell
So, yeah, it's just absolutely outstanding. Anything else, Mike?
No.
You want to say goodbye to everybody?
Goodbye, everybody.
Maybe they'll see you this week. What is today?
I'm here every day this week.
Is this Tuesday?
Eric went out of town, so
I'm
I'll be
all
here
screwed up.
every freaking morning. Thanks, Eric. Thanks for nothing, Eric.
Mike,
Yeah.
we'll usually only have you on once every couple of months. This was an awesome
That
show,
was Steve,
man.
because
Awesome.
Steve doesn't like me.
He doesn't?
No, he loves me. He might not.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Steve, he's
I
like,
like Steve.
Steve's gonna be amazed, man. Our numbers are going choom.
Yeah, because he's not here.
We're gonna have to get rid of him more often.
See you, Steve.
All right, Mike. Thanks so much.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it, my friend.
We'll see you on the next one. Thanks for having me at 22nd Street Landing.
My pleasure. What do we push here now, Mike? That right.